Right, disassembled him. So we're going to put him back together. Right, and this is the base here. You'll notice that in the base, there where the wheels lock into of the Mark II, there is holes, and they rotate. They do not come out of the base. They are locked in place. They were designed that way. And once the legs are in there, it allows the pivot point of the hips to maneuver the legs to face in different directions. That's why they are designed like that. Now, next we have the legs. The legs themselves, as you can see, they have a ball joint up here. So that allows him, when he is in position, it allows him to swivel his legs in the direction that you want. The limbs themselves could moves. So on this particular unit, now if you want to make him lift, or if you want him to go taller or go shorter, what you need to do is that again you need to loosen the screw here. So just very gently, just loosen it up a little bit. And then, how you're going to go about it, now be very careful at this point, is that holding the leg, trying to do this on camera, you can move out this top part of the leg first. Holding the legs here, you can hold on firm to all points, and then gently give it some pressure, and you can see that the piston actually posable functionality, I guess you can call it. Now, once you get to a point where you feel like it's quite hard to move, don't force it. Now, it is able to reach its maximum stopping point here, so you can go all the way down to which the point you can see that the piston has reached its max limit. So that's how you do that, and then you can position the leg however you want up to its own point. Once you are happy with it, tighten up the grub screw again, and it will lock it into place. Now again, all it needs is finger tight. Don't over exceed that, or you will strip out the plastic. Okay, and now how we're going to assemble it is that we're going to put it back on its base, again holding it firmly at the pivot points. So don't try and hold it like this, because you might snap this area. Hold it firmly in hand, and then just gently extend it out. Okay? Once you are happy with the position, just give it a finger tight. And then it's time to position the legs. When positioning the legs, please ensure that you have the correct orientation. The ball joint basically goes, as you can imagine, towards their hips. So it's very simple. Just line it up. Once you've got it in the hole, press down. Do not press down on the top of the leg. Hold where the wheel is and push and wiggle that down into position. Okay, and then now we'll repeat it with the second leg. Exactly the same. These are close-ups of the legs if you are interested. Okay, wiggle it in. There we go. Right. Next we're going to grab the hips. These are the hips. It's very simple. They get pushed in to the ball joints. So here, there is enough slack for you to be able to do this, especially if you turn the figure to, maneuver it so it's easy for you. Hold on to the leg, and just line it up. Now the ball, if you are just going to pay a bit of attention there, the socket hole is towards the back of the leg, not the front of the leg. And a point of note of this as well, this particular piece here, the hip piston, it's very thin and it's quite fragile. So do not apply any pressure to both the pistons and these hip plates. Okay, this piece is the copper piece is very thick, so that's fine to handle, but just be aware. And there is also a very small hip twist as posability there as well. You may actually find it easier to do this with it not being on the base, so I'm going to demonstrate that. So if you hold the leg at the top and then position the pivot point and then just push it in, there you go. Okay, so that's just held in with friction. And the same again with the other leg. Okay, so once you've done that, yeah, it's much easier to do it off the base actually. Once you've done that, hold, position the legs into the base points, and just like before, give it a bit of a wiggle and it'll go inside. Now you see that because it's front heavy, it does have a tendency to flop forward. This is again the reason why we have the screws that are needed. But while I've got it in this position, you can see that the legs can be articulated like this. And yeah, you can have him in some quite cool poses, curious poses, full on standing or just straight up facing you. When tightening up this, I always recommend, because the Mark II is front heavy from its big chest, try to have the waist slightly tilted upwards. It's going to help, because once you put that weight on, it will naturally try to lean forward. Again, to stress finger tight only. So once you get to a point where you feel like it's grabbing, just stop. Do not overstress it. Right, now this bit is a little bit more complicated. Well, it's a bit more fiddly. It's not complicated, it's just fiddly. So here, we're gonna lift up the Mark. We'll gently lift up the Mark II. And you'll see that there is a hole at the bottom there. And that's gonna correspond with the protrusion on the top. So you gently put him into place. It's good to have the back panel off so you can see what you're doing. And we're gonna put that on top of it. Now you're going to have this piece here, and this piece is going to be used for locking him into place. It's held with a single screw. It only goes in one orientation, as you'll notice when you put it in. So I don't know if you can see that in there, but basically you put it in there, and then you take your screwdriver. Now you're going to need a little screwdriver and some small hands to do this, but you basically just tighten up. I don't think I can show you very well in this particular situation, but I'm just going to tighten it. Again, finger tight. Finger tight is all you need, like down to the bottom. Okay, once you are finger tight again, he's assembled. Oh, out of focus. There we go. And then the last thing to do is just to put his back panel back on. And put his little plaque back on. There you go. Thank you very much for watching.